Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's Sunday morning, nice beautiful day. In this video I'm going to talk about employee housing or wage slave quarters. And basically all I have to say is that there's really no difference. Because the same system, a lot of times the same institutions, banking industry, the banks, the corporate America, all that, I'm just putting into one. They own your job and they own the apartment complex that you live in or the home that you live in. These banks own both of them, really. So the only difference is now, instead of the employer or the slave master providing housing for you for free, now you provide housing for yourself. And you take the money that the company pay you, your employer pays you, you take that money and give it to the landlord, which is similar to the same entity. You just transferring the money from one area to another, from one institution to another institution, from your work to your landlord. So you are living, if you live in an apartment complex or a house, you are living in employee housing. You're just paying for it. You're paying the utilities. You're paying for everything. You're even paying the mortgage on the apartment complex. The apartment complex may have a $50,000 a month mortgage because they got a loan from the bank to buy the apartment complex or to build the apartment complex. And if the apartment complex have 100 units and they charging $1,000 per unit, that's on the low end, and they charging $1,000 per unit, that's $100,000 a month. The note on the apartment complex is $50,000. Everybody had to put up a deposit. So the apartment complex also have that deposit money invested, earning interest that you're not getting. So that's what the deposit is about. They say the deposit is about ensuring as a security if you damage the property. That's not what that's about, because they have insurance on the apartment units. It's insured. So if anything is damaged in there, they have an insurance policy that will cover the damage. Plus, apartment complexes have reserve cash for any emergencies. So they don't need your deposit to cover damage. They have an insurance policy for those incidents. See? So the deposit is money they use to invest in different vehicles of return for returns. They're using your money. So as a renter, you're paying employee housing. And the same thing go with a wage slave quarters. Well, you're paying for your own living condition, your own living quarters. And the cost of these living quarters is getting higher and higher. The utilities are getting higher. The maintenance is getting higher. The mortgage or the rent is getting higher. So the wage slave quarters, those are houses. And the employee housing, those are apartments that you are paying for. The only difference is the wage slave quarters, which are the houses, you get a small opportunity of a return as an investment as a homeowner or as a long-term home renter until it's paid off, because the bank actually owns the home. You don't own the home. The bank owns the home. And that your house is in the bank's asset column, but it is in your liability column as a homeowner, because all houses, unless they're owned outright, is a liability. And if you're not using your home to generate some form of income, it's a liability. And it's an asset for the bank until you pay it off. Once you pay it off, then it becomes your asset. It's a dead asset, because unless you pull a home equity line of credit out or you rent rooms, then it's a liability, because it's taking money out of your pocket. Though that's a wage slave quarters that you are paying for. Same thing with employee housing. Employee housing are apartment complexes that you live in. You go to work and you go home to your apartment complex. And a lot of times there are a lot of problems with apartment complex, include neighbors, cleanliness, maintenance issues, noisy neighbors. Sometimes pets and animals can be a problem. Sometimes they're crowded. So it really depends on the efficiency of the landlord or the management company, who's ever in charge. And then they can raise the rent. So since your employee housing is disconnected from your employer, they can double the rent. If there's no rent restrictions in that area, they can add $200 or $300 a month on the rent, but your pay didn't go up. Your pay did not go up. In fact, they cut hours at your job. So there's no guarantee of security at your job, and there's no guarantee that the rent can remain the same at your apartment complex. So they can cut the hours at your job at any moment. There's no guarantee. You're not promised. You're not guaranteed any amount of hours. And they can raise the rent at your apartment. So which one would I rather be in? I'd rather have a wage slave quarters. Well, your mortgage, they can't raise your mortgage. It's set unless you have an adjustable rate mortgage. But if you have a fixed mortgage, it's set for 30 years. But employee housing is more flexible because you can move. But you're still paying $12,000 to $15,000 a year for employee housing, and you have no invested interest in the employee housing. So I would definitely choose wage slave quarters, which is having a home, over employee housing. But both of them are connected to your job, to your employer, to working. See, and that's what the problem is. So that's why you have to go to work by force. That's why they call it workforce. In order to live in this country, in any country. And luckily, we have rules and laws in place to help the employer and your landlord from abusing you. Because in other countries, they don't have a lot of protections. Like in the UAE, they abuse their migrant workers all the time. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. Rights organizations have documented that Expo City Dubai, where the talks are being held, was built on labor abuse against workers who built it, including illegal recruitment fees, non-payment of wages, passport retention, and discrimination. See? So this is what America would look like if we didn't have rules and policies in place. It's not that the employers and rich people are nice and generous. It's that by law they can't abuse you, they can't enslave you. But over here in Dubai, they can. And here are the examples. Additionally, migrant workers face other widespread labor abuses like wage theft. They stealing their money. They're already paying them slave wages, and they stealing that from them. Target, Walmart, and some other large chain corporations in America, they had to settle because they was also accused of wage theft. So wage theft go on right here in the United States. Uber have wage theft lawsuits. DoorDash have wage theft lawsuits. Instacart have wage theft lawsuits. Lyft have wage theft lawsuits. All corporations steal your money from you. All corporations steal from you. All of them practice the same kind of tricky accounting practices where they steal money from you. All of them. Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, In-N-Out Burger, Whataburger, all of them steal from you. Starbucks, you either work off the clock, they want to steal your overtime from you. Like corporate America, there's an entire accounting model that's focused on stealing money from the employees. That's just what they do. So it said wage theft and exorbitant recruitment fees, and that have restricted their ability to support their families back home, including during extreme weather events often linked to climate change. See, guys? It says the UAE has reevaluated every aspect of working in the country, from recruitment to housing, ensuring that all workers from foreign countries are treated respectfully. Everybody knows that's a lie. And able to report instances of mistreatment easily. Everybody knows that's a lie. Changing recruitment fees to prospective employees charging recruitment fees to prospective employees is illegal in the UAE. But they do that here in the United States. They have human trafficking working trains in the United States, and they charge $10,000 to $20,000 to come over here and work, and they'll guarantee you a job at either a hotel or some janitorial company or some landscaping company. And once you get over here, you start working, but you're working through a third party. And that third party is withholding your wages to pay off the loan that you had to pay to come over here. So they may loan you $10,000 or $20,000 to come over here and start working. And as you working, they deduct that money from your pay. They deduct that money from your pay. See, and so that's how it works. That's how they get over with this. So guys, so yeah, there's no, let's look at this one. How many migrant workers died in Dubai? About 10,000 migrant workers from Asia die every year in the Gulf Cooperation Council countries of Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, Oman, and Kuwait. More than half of the deaths are effectively unexplained. See guys, so that's the problem you have with migrants. They have no rights. They have no support system because they are a part of the labor force. No one cares. No one cares about them. And it's getting that way in the United States if we're not careful. No one cares. Because there are too many humans, disposable humans on earth. I hate to say that, but it's evident. It is evident. It's 8 billion people on this earth. And because of technology, people are living longer. People are dying longer, actually. So it's just, I mean, this country, I mean, you know, 10 million people could die tomorrow, and the world will not miss a beat. Even in the United States, if 5 million people died in one day in the United States, the United States will miss a beat. The rich and the wealthy, they will celebrate. So guys, that's all this video is about, guys. Just a little touch on the housing and the wage slave and how we live our lives, and the fact that you are working for more than one employer. You're working for the banks at your job. You're working for the bank that owns your apartment complex. You're working for the bank that owns your house. Your whole life is you're working for the banking system. And the only way to get out of that system is to invest in the banks that are exploiting you. You have to invest in the banks that are exploiting you and use their money against them. You have to lower your standards, not your values, not your principles. Lower your standards, because America wants you to have high standards, because high standards equals consumerism. So lower your standards, lower your goals. The America wants you to have high goals and all this pursuit, because that equals more consumerism, more spending. You know? So if you lowered all these things to below standards, what you're comfortable with, then you take back your power from the monster. Because America wants you to have all this, you know, spending all this money. But if you want to free yourself from the matrix, you have to invest in the banks and the institutions that have enslaved you. You got to fight fire with fire sometimes. That way you can get the upper hand and you can free yourself, because that's knowledge. I've always said that knowledge is freedom, not money. Money will enslave you. Knowledge will free you. True knowledge will set you free. Okay, guys, that's the end of that video, guys. Just a little quick video, just some little information, something to get you thinking about your situation, your working situation, how you are being used and abused, and how if they would use and abuse you some more. They are stealing your wages, they are stealing your time, they are stealing your life. They're doing all these things to you all at one time, but they're doing it in such a beautiful environment in America with all these freedom that you don't even realize. You don't even feel the theft of your soul. You don't even feel it because you've been numbed. You've been numbed by entertainment and the distractions of the world, social media, so you don't feel the pain because you've been given an agent, a numbing agent, psychologically through drugs, porn, alcohol, food. Those are all numbing agents that numbs that distracts you and numb you from the pain that you're going through. Okay, guys. Until next time, guys. Keep your life clean. Keep your car clean. Keep your house. Keep your home clean. Keep your mind clean. Keep your diet clean, guys. Download and deploy your anti-malware software. Debug and unplug from the matrix. Drink plenty of spring water to flush out the toxins, the poison, the chemicals that's in the food supply. Guys, you are being poisoned. You've been micro-poisoned every day because they want you sick so you can take your pharmaceutical drugs every day. Although they tell you to exercise and eat right, since you're not going to do those things. So the society, the system does not care about you. Because the system knows that you're undisciplined, unprincipled, and lazy. So they're going to get everybody hooked on drugs. Everybody will be drug addicts in this country. Prescription drug addicts. What is a prescription drug addict? A prescription drug addict is anybody who's addicted to a prescription drug because they are too lazy and undisciplined to exercise and eat right and meditate and focus. Because the prescription drug addiction would not be necessary if you had discipline. But since you don't have discipline, you prefer the insulin shots and the high cholesterol pills and the high blood pressure medication. You prefer those because those don't require discipline. See, anything that requires discipline it's painful. So you don't want to feel the pain because that's discipline. You rather take the numbing agent of prescription drugs and entertainment. Okay, guys. Until next time, guys. Countryman 777. I'm signing out. Now go and conquer yourself. Peace.